Hello, the Briggsys here, and welcome back to Golden Sandbox, the channel where I aim to push creativity to its limit in the sandbox that is Sea of Thieves. A few weeks ago, I had shared this picture on different social media channels, every single item that can be sold to the Order of Souls in one picture. This is the story of how that picture came to be. Let me get the questions that you might be wondering out of the way. This took 12 hours. I got the idea from a graphic made by Drake Kalen on Twitter. I did it solo during a Golden Glory weekend. I did not have Emissary up until the very end. Briggsys' skull doesn't count because it's a tall tale item and can't be sold. I did manage to sell all of the loot, but you'll have to stick around if you want to know just how much the loot was all worth when I finally traded it all in. I do plan to tell the story of risk and rocky moments across 3 to 4 videos, so make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss a single second of this adventure. Just like every good tall tale, my journey began somewhere, and this one began at Galleon's Grave, where I headed off to the furthest northeast corner of the map, Marauder's Arch. The current world event in this server was the Skeleton Ship Fleet. In trying to meet my goal, the current world event would matter, because in order to get 2 of my bigger ticket items, the Ashen Wind Skull and Stronghold Skull, I would most likely have to do either a Fort of Fortune or a Stronghold Fort, and an Ashen Winds event. With the fleet up though, I opted to focus on what I figured would be more tedious and consume a decent amount of my time, the tall tales. Tall tales aren't thought of as being big loot providers, so why do I need to go and deal with the Shroudbreaker? Well, the Legendary Storyteller, Stars of a Thief, Wild Rose, Revenge of the Morningstar, and Fate of the Morningstar all give unique collector's chests that can be sold to any faction, including Order of Souls. So, because I hate myself, I'd need to complete the first section of multiple tall tales to get cosmetically different chests. Rose and George really screwed me over when they thought that it'd be a good idea to etch a rose onto a box. And don't get me started with the ridiculousness of the Morningstar chest, which is just a collector's chest with a different name. Anywho, I figured I'd rip off the band-aid and start with the Fate of the Morningstar. On my way over to Marauder's Arch, I swung by Blind Man's Lagoon because I saw a skeleton captain who upon his demise gifted me with my first item of this entire journey, a villainous bounty skull. Upon reaching Marauder's Arch, I did a quick sweep and came across item number 2, a disgraced bounty skull. I had hoped that in getting through the world events, the shrines, and tall tales, I would naturally come across most of the basic skulls, and that seemed to be the case so far. With the Ferryman's Lantern in tow, I began to multitask and headed over to Old Faithful, where the second chapter of Fate of the Morningstar would be. Originally, Fate of the Morningstar wanted me to go to Kraken's Fall, but I said no, and used the checkpoint to cancel it and put it back up to switch the chest location to Old Faithful. The reason I wanted Old Faithful was because I had spawned a ghost fleet there to take down. I had done plenty of these solo, but between my nerves on how the day was about to play out and my poor supply management early in my adventure, and by that I mean leaving the outpost with 0 supplies, this fleet gave me a little bit of a run for my money. With my supplies actually dwindling, the Burning Blade showed up and I gave him what for, eventually taking Flame Fart down, leaving me with Captain Skull of the Damned and the Skull of the Damned. Of course, I also picked up the Cursed Cannonball Crate, which gave me a healthy supplies of Wraith Balls to keep in my back pocket for a rainy day. Gold-seeking and loot-loving pirates may be saddened to hear that through all of this, any loot that didn't help me with my task, I would usually just leave behind. For the next hour, I completed a little route from the wilds through the shores of plenty, just of tall tales and chest gathering, starting by collecting the skeleton chests at Old Faithful with Fate of the Morningstar, then putting up Revenge of the Morningstar at Daggertooth and digging up the stupid Morningstar chest at Boulder Cay. Next, I put up and got the Wild Rose chest, and lastly, the ancient chest from the Stars of the Thief tall tale. I was blown away by just how quickly and easily I was able to get all these chests and continued to find a few basic skulls and gems along the way. With so many tall tale chests on board, I was hoping to use them as smuggling containers for loot. If I happened to be boarded or attacked by another player, my plan going into this was to just simply say to them, "Hey, I'm just marathoning the Shores of Gold tall tales, don't mind me." I was now at a bit of a crossroads for what to do next. Through my chest collecting and ghost fleet, the skeleton fleet still remained high in the sky as the world event, and I needed it gone. I had no idea how long it would be up there, because every time that a ship would touch its hitbox, it would reset the world event despawn timer, meaning it could be up there all day if I didn't do anything about it. Forgetting how I struggled with even the ghost fleet just an hour ago, I ignorantly filled my pockets and prepared to risk my work so far by taking on the ship fleet solo. Something that I had never done before. With 10 items already obtained and on my boat, this adventure was really just getting started. All of this and more next time on Golden Sandbox.